Hello everyone. If you've been following my work on the flyagonal over the past few months, you've likely noticed that the performance numbers have shifted as we move through different market cycles, different market conditions. This is intentional. Trading data is not a static snapshot. It's a living record that evolves as time progresses and market conditions change. In this video, I'm going to report on two distinct sets of data. The full flyagonal data analysis that represents the strategy's performance across its broader application since I started using it last May. And then I'm going to talk specifically about alert service data. These are the specific results of the trades that we've executed and managed in real time within my alerts community. I want to call these out separately so you can see the nuance between the live execution of these trades. This video will cover both in detail to give you the clearest possible picture of how these structures are performing right now. It's important to note that these are all on real, live trades. The first and larger set is simply from my very beginning of trading this live back in May, all the way through to the end of December, and those sizes varied quite a bit as I was making those trades. The second set of data is specifically the trades that I traded in the alert service starting on August 18th. That's when I standardized my size in there so that every trade is under about $2,500 in maximum risk. So that'll give you a really good idea of how that has performed since that specific time.
All right, let's get right into it. In the world of trading, everyone's looking for that one strategy that's not just profitable, but actually consistent. Today, we're putting a strategy called flyagonal under a microscope. We're going to really dig into its 2025 performance, look at all the numbers, and see if it holds up. But before we even look at a single number, I want you to think about this. What makes a trading strategy truly successful? Is it just about one massive lucky win? Or is it something more reliable? Something you can count on month after month, especially when the market gets a little crazy? That's the real question we're here to answer. So to really get to the bottom of this, we're going to use a kind of zoom lens approach. First, we'll start with the big picture, what we're calling the macro view, to see the strategy's overall power. And then we'll zoom right in for a close-up, the micro view, to check out its precision and consistency. You really need both parts to see what's actually going on. Okay, let's start with that wide-angle shot, the macro view. This first part is all about showing the strategy's overall muscle and its raw earning potential over the entire trading period. And listen, we are not cherry-picking the data here. We're looking at the whole story, all 147 trades, right from May through December of 2025. This is the complete, unfiltered performance, showing exactly what the flyagonal strategy can do across all sorts of market conditions. So, what did those 147 trades add up to? Well, a net profit of over $36,000. Now, that number alone is pretty impressive, right? It speaks to the raw power we were talking about. But as you know, profit is never the whole story. See, making money is one thing, but how efficiently did you make it? The return on capital for this period was a massive 263%. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. For every single dollar of capital at risk, the strategy generated more than $2.50 in profit. That's not just good, that's just incredible efficiency. So how in the world did it do that? Well, the secret is an unbelievably high win rate. Out of 147 trades, 138 of them were winners. That's a win rate of almost 94%. That tells you the trade selection and the strategy's edge were just spot on. So what did the journey look like? Well, the equity curve shows this really nice stair-step climb upwards. But let's be totally transparent. It wasn't a perfectly straight line. Right around mid-August, the market threw a real curveball. A super sharp V-bottom recovery that caused a drawdown of about $6,300. But here's the most important part. The strategy handled it. It recovered fast and pushed on to new all-time highs before the year was over. That's what resilience looks like. Okay, so we've seen the power. Now let's zoom in and look at the precision. We're going to focus just on the alert service. These are the actual trades that were sent out to subscribers. This is where we find out if the strategy isn't just profitable, but if it's also repeatable and scalable for anyone. This is the real test of consistency. Now, we're looking at a very specific window of time, just the 37 trades from the alert service starting on August 18th. And remember, these trades are a part of the larger portfolio we just looked at. By isolating them, we can see exactly what a subscriber would have experienced. And what they experienced was, well, just look at this chart. It's beautiful. That is a smooth, steady climb. It's the kind of performance curve that lets you sleep at night, you know? For a strategy focused on generating income, this is basically the holy grail. This is what real consistency looks like in picture form. Let's just quickly hit the numbers here. Over $4,500 in profit in just a few months is great. But look at the other stuff. A win rate over 91%, still fantastic. A profit factor of 6, meaning for every $1 it lost, it made 6. And a nearly 130% return on capital shows that same amazing efficiency. It's just solid performance all around. But honestly, for me, this chart right here is the most powerful one of all. We're talking month-over-month consistency. August, September, October, November, December. Not a single losing month. Every single one was profitable. That isn't luck. That is a reliable system at work, building wealth 1 month at a time. So what's the engine behind this? This chart shows it perfectly. It's all about hitting base hits. It's not about swinging for the fences and trying to hit a home run. You can see that big cluster of green dots, 34 wins. Most of them are just modest, predictable profits. The strategy is to just get on base, again and again. And those small, frequent wins just completely overwhelm the tiny number of losses. And what about risk? I mean, this chart says it all. The maximum drawdown, the biggest dip it took during this whole time, was just $422. That's it. When you compare that to over $4,500 in gains, you see a strategy that has its defense completely dialed in. It's not just about making money, it's about protecting it. Okay, so let's bring it all back together now. We've seen the power of the total portfolio, and we've seen the precision of the alert service. Let's put them side by side and see the complete picture. So here you have it, a tale of two data sets. On the left, you've got the macro view, which proves the long-term power and robustness of the flyagonal strategy. And on the right, you've got the micro view, which is just a masterclass in consistency, scalability, and tight risk management. Two different views, but they lead to one undeniable conclusion. This strategy flat out works. And this really gets to the core idea of this whole analysis. The total portfolio, our macro view, proves that the strategy is tough and highly profitable over the long haul. Meanwhile, the alert service segment, our micro view, shows us exactly how it can scale for anyone with incredibly tight risk control and that steady, consistent income that just builds an account over time. So, what's the big takeaway here? The 2025 performance of the flyagonal strategy isn't just a bunch of impressive stats on a page. It's a blueprint. It is a proven, repeatable blueprint for building a scalable and consistent income stream. It really shows what's possible when you combine a powerful strategy with disciplined execution. The only question left is, are you ready to start building?
Now, if you're ready to move beyond the basics and master my flyagonal strategy, I've included details for the deep dive flyagonal course below, as well as the alert service. So take a look at those. Now, if you want to see a little more about the flyagonal structure in general, check out this next video here.